Meow. Yay. Oh no, is it me singing? Oh no, I hope not.
I can't
Oh,
tell.
there.
I'm
Oh
wait.
yeah. Okay, so we're live.
We're live. We're live. All right, good
Yes.
deal. What's up, everyone? Stephen Jensen and Jessi Davin here. We're doing no intro today because we got to do kind of a shorter stream, probably only about a half hour, 45 minutes today. But we wanted to come on here and give y'all something this week. So thank you for joining us. Before we get started, we're gonna answer some super chats uh, and read some out. So right off the bat, thank you very much to Corey, very loyal viewer of
Corey.
this show, Corey. Corey Hummel says promotional consideration paid for by the following. Everyone go check out onlyfans.com/Jessi the Buckeye. So on that note, actually, you know what? And I'll read Deshaun's too because it all kind of goes
Yeah.
together. Deshaun Turner, thank you very much. Another very loyal
Thank you,
viewer
Deshaun.
says, "Hey Steven and beautiful Jessi, how are you and the kids? Who's ready for the what am I missing here? Oh, the AEW mixtape. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh
So
yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I'm really happy for my friend Will. So he got offered to be a part of it. So I'm really excited for him.
yes, I saw. There's a lot of good people involved with that. It looks like
A
so.
lot of great people. And if you want to come at Will, you're coming at me because he's one of the nicest, kindest people ever. And he is one of the most level headed wrestling fans ever. So don't ever claim that he has a bias.
Yeah, he's a
Like,
very good dude. I don't know him
such a
like
good
super
dude.
well, but I know him like through the Fightful, eco space
Yeah,
and all that
he's
stuff.
literally one of the nicest people in the world. Like, seriously, he's super cool. So, and like, his wrestling takes are so good. So go follow him on Twitter. It's William RBR. So,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, I really liked the Grapsity that they
Yes,
did
I
the
love
other
that
week.
name.
Yeah, the one where they had Sean Dean come on to talk about the whole Tony Khan and
Yeah.
Big Swole and all that stuff. Like I thought that was a really good podcast that
So
I'd
good.
recommend for everybody because there's I can say whatever however I feel about all that stuff, but like at the end of the day. Like I'm a white dude who like you know what I mean like it's
Yep,
good
same
it's
here. I'm not
you
a white dude, but I'm a white girl.
right but it's like it's you gotta get the perspective of people who are a little bit closer to the you know what I mean like
Things
it
that
hits
hit
a bit
home, like,
closer to home when they're gonna have a different
mhm,
perspective than we would and so I thought that it was really well done the
it
just
was.
the conversation in general I thought really needed to happen especially at that time and I thought that
Yeah,
um Will Reg and Phil like killed it on that
they
so
did. They did an awesome job.
and then
Really
shout out to
found it.
Sean Dean for joining
Yeah,
in and like give because he actually works for the company and is a big part
yeah,
of
you
like
know.
trying to expand the diversity and stuff. So they got
Mhm.
really good perspective on that whole situation. I
Awesome.
think way better than I'd be
Really
able to do.
insightful, and I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
But in general, how you doing, Jessi? I know that you said you were
Oh
like
yeah.
kind of still in and out of kind of dealing with
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
still on the TPN. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. Didn't Me and the doctor weren't exactly on the same page. I don't think that he has a lot of experience with people with eating disorders. So I'm getting a second opinion on something next week. And then I see the surgeon again next week. But I'm still on the TPN. He said he doesn't want to keep me on it for more than 3 months. I was like, I better not be on it for 3 months. Because it can do like permanent damage to your liver and
Uh,
stuff like that. So,
mm.
yeah, but
But
I'm like,
hey,
it's
you look great though. Like you really do.
thank
Like I
you.
mean, you're
Thank
looking
you.
pretty damn healthy, especially in
Thank
comparison to
you.
just a couple months ago. So I mean, like this seems like some
Yeah.
really good progress though.
Yeah, I mean, what a difference 7 weeks can make. Like, 7 weeks ago, I had my ileus, which was when my whole digestive system stopped working, and I had to have a suction tube, and I had to like not eat, and that's when they actually put this in 7 weeks ago. So quite a difference.
Yeah, but
So,
like I said, I mean, I wouldn't just say that to say it. Like you really
yeah.
like you seem like you just feel you almost you can tell even just looking at you like your skin like
Oh
it
yeah.
looks like you're just healthier right now.
I have
So like
color.
yeah
Thank you.
yeah
Thank you. I
so
feel more alive than I did then. Yes. And I
yeah.
also think being home helps.
I'm
It
sure.
was literally killing me being away from my kids. I told them that. It was literally killing me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
But
huge that you're able to be home and with them and everything. That's so awesome. In the
but
support, I mean, geez.
yes.
So
Yeah, like it does help. But yeah, I mean, AEW, man.
yeah, we can talk some wrestling.
I I tell you what, you know, I was gonna make a video message last night, but the baby kept waking up. But it's like, man, to Tony Khan, like, I used to never want to say this because I was scared of like being made fun of or whatever. But at this point, I don't really care. You can make fun of me if you want for enjoying something. That's your problem, not mine. But it's like I literally look forward to Dynamite every week. Every week I'm excited. Like I'm excited. I cannot wait for Dynamite. I can't wait for Dynamite. I'm like literally looking forward to it week in and week out. And I think that that is so special and I'm so thankful for it because it's fun. Every episode's fun.
Yeah, oh, I couldn't agree more. It's absolutely the show that I look forward to the most every week.
Hmm.
There's other weeks where sometimes there's like a big GCW show or something that kind of
Yeah.
that almost rivals it as far as like, but it's like two things that I really love, and I
Hmm.
I've tried watching NXT again more recently.
Oh, did you? I haven't even been watching.
Yeah, it's a real mixed bag. Like
Is
there's some stuff that I think is pretty darn good
hmm
still, and then there's some stuff that's just you have to watch it with the understanding, of course, that like this is this is it's weird because basically 205 Live now or whatever they're gonna call it going forward.
hmm
That's like the developmental for the developmental now. Like you
Oh.
see a lot of people that are kind of learning there that are still really green,
Hmm.
doing a lot of really basic moves for the most part, but then are getting some chances on NXT. Like Grayson
Hmm.
Waller is who they're clearly like really
Yeah.
pushing now on NXT,
Hmm.
and he was a very it was interesting because like when he was really on 205 Live, there were guys like Kurt Stallion, Anthony Henry, Alex Zane, August Gray, or Anthony Green. There was like all these guys who I think were like Blake Christian. Like there was these guys who were like
Hmm.
way better than Grayson Waller, and but he's the one who survived all the cuts.
It's
And
interesting.
but you can tell it's because like I think one of the reasons is because he's a really good looking young guy who is like okay in the ring, but he's
Hmm.
gotten a lot better. Like he had a match with AJ Styles on
Yeah.
Tuesday. It was
How
good.
was that?
It was a good match. Like
It was.
I'll give credit where it's due. Like Grayson Waller looks way better than he did when he started with the company, in my opinion, just a
Awesome.
handful of
Well,
months
that's
ago.
good. That's good.
Yeah, so I think it's working to a degree.
It's working for them for their style.
Yes. Well, and Braun Breaker being the champion now, that guy's only had like 20 matches or something, maybe. Like he's a very few matches, but he's improving very fast.
He's like he's like their prodigy, kind of like MJF, but just not a heel. Kind of like the young, like talent that's like so green, or maybe like a Daniel Garcia, or like somebody like that. He's kind of like their version of that, like a young guy who doesn't have that much under his belt, but he has a belt.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild though with Breaker because like Daniel Garcia's wrestled for 4 years, but like
Yeah.
he in like the last year, he basically went from like relatively unknown to like one of the top indie
Yeah.
names to obviously now like main eventing AEW Dynamite against Sammy last night, which is just
Hmm.
incredible. But Braun like
Just
had
went.
no indie career, like basically went from college, and then I think he played a little pro football, like he might have been on the practice squad or something, and
Oh.
and then like right into like the PC basically training him, and so he hasn't. The better example would be Hook. He's kind
Hook,
of
yeah,
he's
I was gonna say Hook
yeah.
too, because Hook doesn't do nothing. He gets ass, and that's about
That
it.
was the greatest video I've seen in my life.
I know that with Antonio Brown, just like
That put because you could tell the person taking the video was doing it as just like they were just trying to get some footage of AB, and like
yes,
Hook just happened to be there.
Hook just happened to be getting a face full of ass.
And he was no selling it. He was chewing his gum and like leaning
He
back
was
with like
like,
money spread all over the place.
dude, what a legend.
He's the man.
He's the
But
man.
I'd make that comparison where
Yeah.
because Hook's the same kind of way where he was trained
Just
by
like,
Cody and Taz and those guys.
was he
And,
trained by Cody?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. I
yeah.
thought it was just,
Cody's the main trainer for like the last year or so.
wow. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Cody, QT, Marshall, like the Nightmare Factory guys,
Yeah.
and then of course his dad.
Yeah.
But Hook's only had like the only matches he's had in front of people we've seen on Rampage. Like
Yeah.
you know,
And he's like so over.
exactly, yeah, ultra over and inorganically over. Like they could never.
Yeah.
There's no way they could have predicted that for Hook. Like
No.
there was all those memes for like a year about how like because everyone thought he was gonna be like probably pretty bad because he like just stands
Yeah.
around crossing his arms next to like Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage and these guys, and he just kind of seemed like
And
a
then
lackey.
CM Punk, goes send Hook.
And everyone's laughing, and now everyone's like, "Yeah, send Hook!" Like, geez.
Yeah, send Hook, and now it's like a thing.
Yeah. It's very similar to Goldberg back in WCW from the sense of obviously they don't look the same, they don't wrestle really the same, but like I think the idea is like we're gonna be getting like send Hook, send Hook, send
Goldberg,
Hook. And people just want to see him go out and destroy people. Like they don't want to see him having like 10-minute matches, just like 3-minute matches where it's mainly him throwing people around. Like
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see because he's not like a Goldberg type guy. He doesn't seem like the type of guy, so it'll be really interesting to see how they do that. Just like last night, I was really interested in the Wardlow CM Punk match. I was like, it's gonna be really interesting to see how they end this because I was like, they need to protect kind of both of them. And obviously, it ended with like a roll up, but it was obviously teasing the eventual Wardlow turn on MJF, which I hope happens in Cleveland, where he's from. So I think that. How did you feel about the roll up?
I mean, I saw it coming a mile away. Like,
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah, even like when I was watching, because do my DMBs thing on Wednesday, and then one of my buddies comes over for AEW every week, and he I said it to him. I was like, after he had powerbombed Punk like 5 times and like put his foot on him and the whole deal. Yeah. I mean, everything to where like I literally said Punk's gonna win with a roll up. Like it has to be because there's no other way to really book around that. I don't think. I mean the whole thing was a vehicle for it served 2 purposes. And I thought it did it pretty well. It was to continue to build MJF and Punk for the pay-per-view and like you said, just continuing to plant more seeds to where Wardlow, we've known for years that Wardlow would eventually turn on MJF, but like, or vice versa, but it's for sure happening soon. Like they're not going to be able to stretch this for too much longer. Like that, it almost happened last night where he like grabbed him by the wrist and it was like, this could be it. And then Sean Spears got in the way. But how did you feel about it?
I like you said, I think that was kind of like you could see it coming. I can see why people would be critical of it. 'Cause it's like we're always critical of WWE doing that, but the thing is AEW doesn't do that often.
Right.
And I feel like with AEW everything serves a purpose. And I feel like that served a purpose. It wasn't some stupid, just random roll up. It wasn't like through like a cheating kind of thing. It was like Punk got his ass beat and was like down for the count, and Wardlow was, power bombing him, and Punk caught him in a weak spot because he had been power bombing him. He was tired. He was doing all this stuff for MJF, and he rolled him up, and it enhanced the tension between Wardlow and MJF. So it served a purpose. Yes. And like I said, they kind of caught themselves in like a hole, and that's why I said I was interested to see what the ending would be. I wasn't sure if there was going to be interference and Punk was actually going to lose, but it made more sense for Punk to win. To me, just because they're planning that there's that tension with MJF. So obviously, if Wardlow had been concentrating the entire time, he definitely would have won. Or if he would have pinned him when he should have, when MJF told him to stop, he would have won. So it served its purpose. I can see why people would be mad about it, but that's CM Punk. He's sneaky, it's a sneaky thing. I mean, you look at them side to side and you say, it's kind of like, it sounds like a bad comparison, but it's like, when you watch Riho in a match, it's like she's so tiny compared to like pretty much everyone else just because she's just smaller. I'm not saying she's just stature size,
Sure.
just structurally smaller. And she has to win by being sneaky and clever. So it's kind of like that, even though I'm not comparing them. I'm just kind of saying when, you have a David versus Goliath,
Yeah, it's like the way that Wardlow's been built, especially because like he's just going out there and just power bombing people into oblivion, and like you want to keep him looking as strong as humanly possible. So like he has to do that to Punk too, to like keep his credibility where it's headed. And Punk needs to win because he's gonna be the one wrestling MJF on pay-per-view, assuming and stuff. So
yeah.
There was something else I was gonna ask you. Oh yeah, I was gonna bring this up. You mentioned Cleveland. So Wardlow's from Cleveland, you said, which I didn't put that together.
Yes, they said that last night. They actually meant, which I did not know. They said from Cleveland, Ohio. And I was like, really? So yeah, and then they mentioned it. They mentioned it again. They said that they're going to be in Cleveland, Ohio in 2 weeks.
That's going to be an interesting show because I think if Cody's back by then, he needs to do a TNT Open Challenge.
Yes,
and it's got to be Johnny Gargano.
Yes, did he not sign with NXT again?
I don't know. He's doing Twitch streams and stuff, so I'm kind of assuming he's out.
Well, they have that interim TNT.
They got to figure out with Sammy and Cody still, but they could still defend the belts separately until they unify them.
Yeah. I know that was an interesting. How do you feel about that? I think that was an interesting way to go about like not having a TNT championship person. I think it's really interesting. I thought it was definitely very creative on AEW's part to have like an interim champion.
Yeah, I generally don't like interim titles and like because like it happens in the UFC fairly often.
Yeah. But given
the circumstances, it made sense because they were doing a Battle of the Belts, and that was advertised that there was going to be a TNT title match, and Dustin. I mean, that was a great match.
Good,
with Dustin
and
Sammy.
Hell, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I have no problem with any of it. I just as long as it isn't a regular thing, we're like, because the only knock I would have against it, and once again, I'm not upset about it or blaming anyone because it had to do. It mainly was because they were doing that Battle of the Belt show.
Yeah.
But in general, it doesn't make sense to put interim titles out there if like your champion's going to be back in like a few weeks or something. It doesn't make sense. But what's really cool about what they're doing is, I mean, if they're going to have Sam Guevara go out there and have great matches against guys like Daniel Garcia and like younger talent, and while Cody's out, like I'm all for that. So. Yeah,
I mean, hell yeah. I think it, showcase your younger guys because I saw Jimmy Van's criticism of AEW, and I think it's a fair criticism. He said the character development. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of character development. There's a lot of like surprises or cheap pops, as people would say. But I think while that's a fair criticism, it's really hard when you have 2 shows a week. And I mean, you have Dark and stuff like that. And if you're watching Dark and Elevation and stuff like that. But I mean, your main 2 shows that most people are going to watch, it's hard to build those characters quickly. We're so used to seeing it quickly with WWE. And I know Give It Time is such a meme and it's such an annoying thing, but look at the women's division. We gave that time. And so I think this is a perfect way to showcase the younger talent and show their character while Cody's gone. And I think I know it's like an unfortunate circumstance, but it's an opportunity for them to develop themselves. And I think that AEW is trying their best to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of that. It's interesting with AEW because a lot of the fan base, myself included in that, I already know who all these people are before they show up. But like
you're in indies,
right? But not every. I mean, I'm also not ignorant to like that. not everyone's going to be in that boat. Like you still have to educate the audience that maybe only watches mainstream TV or only really watches AEW on Wednesdays or Fridays or whatever. So like you do have to have character development so that everybody understands who these people are and like what they're about and their stories and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's really telling when something like last night happens and before Brody King debuts, the crowd's chanting Brody King, Brody King, and it's like
that is a very good point.
And it's so I think I want to talk about the Brody King debut in a second, but. And this isn't, once again, I never want to make this like WWE versus AEW in this kind of conversation, but it's
you have to, because that's the standard,
right? Well, and I think that a lot of people assume because like Monday Night Raw gets 1.5 million viewers or whatever, and Dynamite gets around 1 million, and then like Rampage gets 750 or 500, whatever they get. It's you get a fairly similar amount of people watching WWE and AEW weekly, it feels like. But I think that I honestly think a lot of the fan base is different at this point.
Like,
I don't think just because you watch Raw it means you also are watching AEW or vice versa. And I think a lot of the AEW audience, like the loyal audience that's watching, out of that 1 million or so people, the majority of them I feel like have a better idea of kind of what's going on. Like to have a whole arena of people chanting Brody King, Brody King, it's like
that is such a good point.
If for a guy who's never been on the show before, has never been in the WWE, his biggest exposure has been Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, exactly.
And in the indies, PWG and stuff, but like you got to be really but that's the thing is like even the way it was presented, AEW Excalibur on commentary and stuff last night, he immediately was like, "These are the kings of the Black Throne. Like this is the tag. These guys are tag team champions around the world. Like these guys have history. So even if you've never seen Brody King before, you're like, the whole crowd's chanting for this guy. Everyone else seems to know who he is. Commentary is making it clear that him and Malachi have history together.
Exactly.
So now, even if you didn't know who he is, just by almost virtue of like." You don't want to be the one who isn't in on like the fun. Like you're like, wait a second, who? Everyone knows this guy but me. So now Brody King seems like a big deal. Now you got to figure out who he is. You got to go back and watch his matches. You got to get excited to see him on Dynamite.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it?
And even before that, with the promo that Aleister Black cut, where it's like he needs a king. See, he hinted at it, and so then you were like, what does that mean? You go looking, and then you see, oh, Brody King, and then so you start looking. Like for me, I was like, oh, okay, all right, this guy's badass. Like I can't wait. Like I know the history, now I'm anticipating it. And like you said, I was like, here comes Brody King. You're right. I knew it. It's like I don't watch Ring of Honor religiously, or I didn't. I don't sit there and watch. I'm not, an indie person. I don't. But I love the Fightful Weekender on Fightful Select. Thank you, Stephen, for that. So you can always catch up on the indie scene and all that stuff with that. But I don't watch it like you, but I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. Like, I mean, and I think that is a very good point. I think it's very telling that I feel like with AEW, character development happens with the storyline development, and it's kind of merging together, and I think it's kind of a woven thread of fun. And I think that, well, like I said, like it's a fair criticism, especially if you're just like a casual viewer. I don't think AEW, I mean, I could be wrong, I don't work for AEW, I don't know what they're going for, but I would assume if I'm a wrestling company, I don't want a casual viewer. I want a loyal viewer. I want people to keep watching. I don't want people to recreationally watch me just because there's nothing else on TV. I want to hook people in. So it's like, you want to find out because like you want to find out what's this guy's story, what's this person's story, and it's like, and for me, like with my parents being here, it's really fun to kind of let them know, and then they're into it. You know, my dad's into it. Like my mom gets interested in the storylines. You know, it's really telling that when they're watching, they're like, oh, what's the story behind this? But when we watch WWE, it's kind of like, let's watch
Yeah.
football. You know, it's like, so I mean, it's it's cool. I'm really excited for Brody King. I think that that's a good. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good signing. They did sign him, right? They did a little
Yep.
graphic and everything,
Graphic
right?
came out this
Okay.
morning. Yep.
Okay, did good. Okay, so
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, I think, bringing up the kind of casual viewer, I think that's a big part of like the different philosophies that AEW and WWE have with one
Hmm.
another. Is the WWE, I think, is doing everything they can to get casual viewership,
Because
and
they're on Fox,
AEW just doesn't, like, they don't really care. Like if you're a casual viewer, like, you're welcome to join the party, but
right?
like it isn't on them to,
Right.
like they're the majority of their fan base. I think there's very, and here's the other thing, I don't think there's that many quote unquote casual viewers that even watch wrestling anymore, to be honest.
Right.
Like,
Who does that?
yeah, because I mean, back when Raw was pulling, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, back in the '90s when it was pulling like 8 million viewers and stuff, but like even more recent years when it was pulling like 4 million and 3 million, like,
Yeah.
consistently for years, I think there was a lot of casual viewers that were popping in then, because it was, I think, a lot of
Hmm.
people that were like, they'd flip through the channels and they'd see like John Cena or
Yeah, they're
Batista
like,
or
oh, I
Randy
remember
Orton, or
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
or they're, got interested in them because they were super popular, or like
Hmm.
whatever the case was. But I think there was a lot more casual viewers watching wrestling then. Now, when the numbers are as low as they are for a show like Raw,
It's just pure
it's WWE
loyal.
fans. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like WWE right now feels like kind of like the modern Star Wars franchise. Like they're not making their fan base happy. They're like hiring all these people who have know nothing about WWE. Like uh, Lucasfilm hired all these people that had never seen the movies, and they made these movies and pissed off like the loyal fans. But like the casuals were like, oh, okay. But then you
Yeah.
have AEW, who's kind of like Marvel, who gives us fan service like all the time. And we love it. And they're always successful with it because they give you that fan service, but they make it work. I don't
Yes.
know if that's a good
Yeah.
comparison or not, but that's what it kind of feels like, because Star Wars is part of Disney, that big conglomerate. I mean, so is Marvel, but it feels like that big conglomerate. Haha, we don't care. Here's what we're going to give you. You better like it or whatever. Marvel's like, tell us what you want. Tell us what you want. We'll give it to you. We'll make it work.
That, I think those are really good comparisons, because
Yeah.
I'm not really big on Marvel or Star Wars, but what I
Mhm.
do know about that stuff and the fan base is that's how it seems to me, because like Doug, for instance, that I do my show with on Tuesdays, he
Mhm.
is a massive Star Wars fan, and he
Yeah.
despises the last three movies that have come out. Um,
Yeah.
and
So divisive.
and it's because it, like, the way that there was a lot of it, I guess, but he said that it was even like, I think there was a different director or someone for all three of
Yes.
them.
For all three of
So
them. And so they didn't work.
yeah,
They like counteracted each other. It was awful.
and that does kind of seem like more WWE what they do currently, because it's like they just cast out this big net of, we want everybody to like our show, but we're gonna treat it like you don't really watch the show, because every single show there's gonna be recaps and
Right.
promos and video packages and all these things, just showing you over and over and over again what's happening. Like the way that WWE treats it is that everyone is watching the show for the very first time every
Hmm.
time that they watch it, because they're just constantly reminding you and showing you the same match over and over and
Hmm.
whatever it is. AEW is kind of like, we're listening to the hardcore wrestling fans, or the hard, not, you know what I mean, not hardcore,
Yeah.
the people who are real, like, real wrestling fans that are like really tapped into this,
Our
and
dedicated fan base. Yeah.
right, and they're just, a lot of the stuff they do, it just makes sense. Like, they're like, even if it's obvious where things are going, Like, everyone knew Brody King was coming in. That didn't mean don't do it.
it.
Like, do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Fun.
Like,
it was still awesome.
and if
And
you're,
like we all know Wardlow's gonna turn on MJF, and there's gonna be a huge pop when it happens.
yeah, like we
Like,
all knew
we're
Hangman was
excited for it.
beating Kenny for the title. Like, we know for a year that it was gonna happen. We know since the beginning of AEW, the existence, that was probably the way it was gonna end. But just do it. Like, that's what the fans want to see. And I think AEW's approach is just much more like, we're gonna do what the real wrestling fans want, and if you want to come along for the ride, come with us. Like, jump on in.
The journey can be just as fun as the destination, and the destination can be fun too.
Yeah, totally. So
it's not all about the journey, not the destination. They can both be fun.
And the way that the WWE is heading, like, I say it all the time. Like, I think if I was a kid, the WWE would be absolutely incredible right now. Like, I think I'd love it. And I honestly think, because we've talked about it before with, like, the NFL doing shows on Nickelodeon.
Dude, yes. I'm so excited.
Yeah, like, I'll watch the Niners Cowboys game on...
I want that slime zone. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the future of WWE, is, like, I think soon enough, they'll... Like, when you watch a WWE show, it's going to be a lot of augmented reality and a lot of... like,
oh god,
like, I honestly think that they'll get they'll get other properties. Like, my joke online that, you know, but it's not really a joke even. Like, like, if they could do something like Omos versus Big Bird, like, they'd do it.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
Well, I'm just saying, like
yeah,
if the technology's there,
I could see them doing something like that.
It's gonna be like Space Jam.
putting somebody on Sesame Street.
Yeah, I mean,
they put Braun Strowman was on Ryan's, Ryan's Twitch channel.
Oh my god, was he?
He was on there. He was on the, what's it called? What could it be?
I'm so excited.
Ryan's Mystery Playdate. That's it. He was on there. Braun Strowman was on there. They're already crossing that line.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because I have kids and I watched it. And I was like, hey, it's Braun Strowman.
I mean, even I know who that is. Ryan's Toy Review. I've learned of him through Content Cop years ago.
Yes. It's surprising.
Yeah.
But he has his own show on Nickelodeon. Or I don't know if it's still around, but Ryan's Mystery Playdate. And his Mystery Playdate was Braun Strowman. Wow. Which is funny because now he's not Braun Strowman anymore. They put him on that show and tried to get kids to watch WWE, and he's not even on there anymore.
Speaking of Strowman, I think I've been thinking this for a minute, and I don't know why. I saw a tweet from MJF that almost like hinted this to me, but I don't think anyone caught on to it. I think that whenever Wardlow turns on MJF, Strowman's gonna be MJF's new bodyguard.
Oh, or Adam.
Whatever they call him, yeah. The Titan, or whatever they're going to call him.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think that... I just have a feeling about it. Because, like,
really?
I saw MJF working out on Twitter the other day. This was, like, a week or so ago. And his caption was, like, as strong as a Titan. And I know that... But he also could be talking about Titan Towers, which is the WWE headquarters. Because, like, he's also been alluding to
and Titantron,
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just have a feeling that, like, MJF won't go bodyguardless. And, like, if you're going to lose Wardlow, I think he'd get someone even bigger.
Yeah.
That could, like, fight Wardlow, you know? And then you'd have Wardlow beat Braun Strowman, by the way. Like, that would be a part of it, I think. Like, he further establish Wardlow, have him beat Strowman. But yeah, all the other stuff with the augmented reality, it's just... I feel like I honestly feel like it'll be like Space Jam at some point in the near future.
But I can't sing that; it'll be copyrighted.
Yeah, right. We would sound so much like the actual song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to slam now. Come on and slam, and welcome to Japan. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's a meme. It's like it says "Come on and slam" and "Welcome to Japan" from an airport.
That's awesome. Wow.
And welcome to Japan.
I remember, I don't know why that reminded me, but I remember years ago, this is like, I was in high school, and in the Atlanta airport, it was around the time that Welcome to Atlanta song was really big. I might have even been in middle school. We might have been in middle school at that time. But that song was like, Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play, and we ride the things like every day. That was like a huge song in Atlanta. And I remember in the Atlanta airport around that time, walking through, and it was like somebody like No, it wasn't singing it, but over the speakers it was like, "Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play."
No.
And we ride on the things like every day. You know, it's like.
Oh no! Yikes!
Like,
They ruined it. I bet.
Yeah. But it was such a meme before memes were a thing.
Yeah. It's like Benveni Miami.
Yeah. Well, not Millennium, Big Willie Style. That was the.
Yeah, Will Smith.
I used to have.
He came out with that one movie, that cowboy movie. What was that?
Wild Wild West.
Yeah,
Wicked Wild.
We're aging ourselves.
I know. We were kids when that came out. Like that's.
Yeah, I guess.
We were for sure, because I remember at my Jewish summer camp. Shout out Camp Coleman. My sleepaway camp I used to go to. We had something called MTV night, where like they'd make all of us like get up on a stage and like do like lip sync to like we were doing our own music video, and we had to pick the song.
Oh, that's so
stuff.
fun!
And I remember one of the cabins doing that as their thing.
That's
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
We
god.
did,
Speaking of 90s, the Young Bucks gear was hilarious. Their outfits cracked me up.
You're the best. I actually just got some Young Bucks socks the other day.
No way, really?
Yeah, someone got them in a AEW mystery crate and didn't want them, and I was like, I'll wear those.
Yeah. Oh, what about the trading card thing? I didn't enter that sweepstakes. I need to do that.
Yeah, I haven't found any of those in the wild yet. I don't know what the distribution.
I don't know if they've come out yet.
I don't think so. I don't think they have. But I know people are receiving them that ordered them.
So I didn't even know you could have ordered them. I've been out of the loop.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Like, I'm not huge on cards anymore. But like, if I see those at like a Target or a Walmart or something, I'm sure I'll buy some.
Hell yeah! I know I'm not supposed to go out with this, which sucks. But if I could, I would be going out looking for those.
There's a great figure out right now. It's a Walmart exclusive, so you can only get it from Walmart.
Ooh, Corey would know about it.
About the
Walmart exclusive.
Oh, for sure. So the Walmart exclusive is, this thing just came out, and it's Sting, but it's Sting with half his face paint, half Darby's face paint, and you can only get it from Walmart. And
Corey, you gotta look for that.
Yes, I'm looking for it too. Like, but they're circulating right now. I'm seeing people that are finding them in various states.
It's so exciting. Oh my god.
Very, very
That's
excited.
So cool.
Love me some.
And it's
Sting.
like not something you. Oh man, that makes me want to go out. Damn you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun time for collectors. Distribution kind of sucks just because everything, all of that sucks right now.
Bro, Gatorade, not sponsored. Could not find it for forever. It was like my poor cat. She's picky. I can't find her cat food. We're at our Publix down the road is out of chicken. Like,
it's wild.
It's weird.
I know. What was it? Me and my brother for months. It's so random, but it's just because it's something that we buy often, and like we never think about it until it's gone, kind of thing. But for months we couldn't find those Ritz crackers with like the peanut butter and like the
Ritz Bits.
Ritz Bits.
Yes, I couldn't find those either.
For months. And then I think my brother finally like asked someone at Publix. He was like, "Where are these things?" And they were like, "The Ritz like distribution is all screwed up because I think they couldn't like keep enough people employed throughout COVID to where like they just couldn't make enough of them to send them out for like months."
What?
I know, I couldn't believe it.
But the same thing with cream cheese.
Really? Yeah.
Cream cheese is out. I couldn't find. There was like yogurt shortage. It was like random stuff.
Yeah, super random. But it's stuff you don't think about because it's just always been there, and then it's like it's gone, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I guess like, it is a pandemic still,
You know
what
they said? I think they said it was the lids.
Oh really?
I think they couldn't get the lids. That's what my dad said. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm not a journalist. Don't quote me on that. But
wouldn't that be some shit if like they have the product but they just can't get the lids to close?
I would be like, just make different lids.
Yeah, right.
You know those little those little barrels. Just do the little foil top.
Yeah, exactly. Do the Capri Sun thing where you just poke right through the
Yeah.
top
Oh
of it.
yeah. Or the Capri Sun thing. Oh
um,
man.
if you have any last minute super chats, please send them.
Yeah.
Now would be a good time because we've only got probably about another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But what else in wrestling did you want to talk about before we got out of here?
How do you feel? What do you? Okay, so what do you think of? Because I have no idea. What do you think of the Mickey James being in the Royal Rumble? Like Forbidden Door rumors. Like people are saying like AEW and WWE are going to work together in the Royal Rumble. Do you think that's total BS, or do you think that that's happening, or do you think it's a one-off thing? Like, what do you think about that?
Um, it, I think that AEW is 1 billion% willing to work with WWE if they were willing to do it as well. And Cody and Kenny have said that over the years too, in
Mm-hmm.
recent years. Been like, wait, Forbidden Door, like we'd love if WWE would be a part of it with us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Mickey James thing is interesting because she's technically a free agent, so like she
Oh,
isn't
okay.
actually signed to Impact, but she is the Impact Knockouts champion.
Okay, so that's why.
So I think, but that doesn't mean that they won't, you know, because for Impact, anyone AEW or anyone WWE wants, I would send. So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
even if they're under contract, like if you get an opportunity where you can get, I don't know, there's some like Moose, there's some baggage
Yeah.
there outside of the ring, but like that's a good
Well, there's some
example.
baggage with Mickey James too, literally.
Well,
Garbage
no, well
bags.
that between her and the company, yeah, but
Yeah.
with Moose, I think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think what's prevented Moose from going to the WWE all these years. This is just me. There, he had some domestic stuff years ago
Yeah.
that I don't want to really speak on, but because I don't think
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it, but
Yeah.
I think that has prevented him from being in the WWE up to this point. That's just my own. That's just how I look at it
That's how you perceive it.
because he has the size and the athleticism, and he's still improving, and like he
Hmm.
would fit in the WWE really, really, really well in my opinion. So like I feel like there's something there that's preventing that,
Hmm.
but he'd be like a good example, I guess, of the type of talent that AEW or that Impact would have, or even. I mean, Matt Cardona has not said one bad word about the WWE since leaving. I mean, they might
Yeah.
have him jump in for a one-off at the Rumble or something. Now that he's got
That
so
would be
much buzz,
fun. Sorry, I just hit my table. That would be fun.
um, but I don't know. So I guess at the end of the day, I think if there's anybody that WWE wants to use that Impact has under contract,
Hmm.
I think Impact needs to no, without even hesitation. Yeah, we'll send them for you.
Yeah, I would too if I was them. I'd be like, hell yeah.
Any
Look at all
extra
the people I
promotion,
watch.
yeah, any extra promotion you can get, as long as the commentary is mentioning, hey, this is Impact Wrestling's Moose, or
If she comes out with the title, that'll be interesting.
yeah,
I think that'll be the true, like,
yeah.
telltale sign of things to come.
I don't know if she will, only because I don't think anybody really carries their belts to the ring for the Royal Rumble. Like,
Yeah.
but they do need to heavily emphasize that she is the Impact Knockouts champion. Like,
Yeah.
as long as it's very clearly like stated while she's out there.
She can use it to hit someone. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Whack
agree.
someone over the face with it. That'd be funny.
Personally, I do want to see her with the belt out there. Personally, I just don't
Yeah.
know if they'll do it or not. But that's, you know, the win for Impact Wrestling when it comes to all of this is if you can just get the WWE actually talking about your show on their broadcast,
Yeah.
you have a good chance of converting at least some people to watching Impact, this week. And,
Right. I mean, look at Impact. I mean, Impact's working with AEW and WWE. They're trying their best.
yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff coming up this month too. That's going to involve a lot of different companies, like Terminus here in Atlanta this weekend. I'll be
Oh
there.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
we
you'll
got-
be there? How fun!
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then they have GCW Hammerstein later this month,
I
which is
cannot wait for that.
basically the Forbidden Door is GCW.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, everyone from every company pops up there.
I love GCW. Like,
Yeah.
they are such a shining star right now.
Hell yeah, yeah! I'm pumped. They have some shows this weekend too in Detroit that should be really good. So, Yeah, I mean, so I guess to answer your question, I don't know if it'll go beyond Mickey James, and Mickey James is
Mhm.
kind of the perfect person because once again, she's not under
Free
contract.
agent. I didn't know that, so
Um,
that's good to know.
but I mean, they really, especially on the women's side, because
Hmm.
I think the reason
Yeah.
they're doing this is because they've gotten rid of so many women they can't even fill a Royal
Yeah.
Rumble with what
They
they
got rid of
have.
her. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. And they
yeah.
always bring back like they brought back so many people for that the first one. You know.
I think it would be great if Mickey James entered the Rumble, and whether Deonna Purrazzo was in the Rumble or not, if she came out and like eliminated Mickey, like if we got
So
Deonna
to
on
continue
the
their
show,
storyline, I don't know if
yeah,
WWE would let them do that though. I feel like that they'd be like, no, do
I
that on
feel
your own time.
I feel kind of the same way, but that almost could be like the trade off is like
That could be
we
the hook that gets people to watch Impact.
exactly, and that's the
Yeah.
whole reason Impact would do any of this. I feel like
Yeah.
because like that's kind of the trade off would be we're gonna let you have Mickey James for the night,
If you let us.
and we as all we want in return is like let Gianna go out there and eliminate her. That's all because we just want people to watch our show
Yeah.
next week. Um,
I think
so
that's I think that's fair.
and then on the men's side, it would be incredible if they can get anybody to pop up from AEW or Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Just just as a big surprise, I think it'd be really
My
cool.
husband said he thinks MJF would be like so crazy, but I don't think that they should do that because it would hamper his character to have him eliminated.
Yeah, unless you won the Royal Rumble,
That oh my god.
that wouldn't happen. But that would
That
be
would break
insane.
the entire world, not just the internet. That would just
I could
that'd be
see them.
crazy.
I could see them really wanting Wardlow,
Yeah.
WWE.
Or like Powerhouse Hobbs,
Yeah,
like big muscly people.
I think there's a legitimate chance that Jericho could pop up because he has a
Yeah,
good
I think so
relationship with
too.
them still.
Because he's, you know,
Yeah,
he's Jericho.
and he did the Austin podcast not too long ago and stuff,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
like they're on good terms, I guess, with everyone involved there. So
Hmm.
I
That
don't
would be,
know.
yeah, we'll see. I
Yeah,
mean, does he come out as like Jericho, or does he come out as like Painmaker Jericho, or does he come out as like just,
yeah.
AEW or
Does he use
WWE?
Judas or break the walls
Y2J.
down or what?
They
Yeah,
break the wall
I think he'd have to come out to Judas just because like that's never
Yeah,
happened to WWE before.
yeah, but then again, I don't know.
Well, there's a lot that comes along with that, with like
Yeah.
the rights, and he'd
Because
probably
I don't think he owns the rights to it. I think the record company does.
yeah. I don't know
So,
exactly how that works.
yeah, but that would be fun. What's something we can talk about later on down the line as we get closer to the Rumble, which is not too far away.
Yeah, and I'll have some Wrestle Rumble entries to give away
Oh
too.
yeah.
So we'll talk more Rumble in the coming weeks. Um, is there anything else AEW that you wanted to talk about real quick before we signed off? Trying to think of what else. I mean, I'll throw this out there because we haven't talked about it on the show. Omega and Hangman and Danielson last week was incredible. So
Awesome.
um,
Badass. Loved
absolutely
it.
loved it. Yeah.
Loved it. Kicked so much booty. Yeah.
Um,
Was happy.
yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, and she's Ray Phoenix. I don't know how he didn't break his arm.
Oh my god, I know.
That
Oh, that was awful.
was one of
I
the
didn't even
worst.
notice it. I was just like, hell yeah. And then all of a sudden I saw him on Twitter. I was like, oh, I hope he's okay. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And I saw it. And I'm like, ah.
It's wild because I don't know. I've probably talked about it before, but months ago, my brother was I was watching Raw, and uh, one of the Viking. I always forget their names, but the Hanson and
The one that broke his like neck or something, broke his back or something.
well, I think he broke his arm or his wrist or
Oh,
something. But it was like I don't remember what they called him on WWE. I think they call him Ivar.
yeah,
Um,
Ivar,
he
yeah.
used to be Hanson on, but he did like a tope suicida through the ropes
Yeah.
and landed. And I remember my brother, like, because I didn't see the dive. I was like looking away, and my
Hmm.
brother was like, "Hey, I think like what's he doing? I think he's like going into some sort of like seizure or something on the ground." And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, what are you talking about? My brother was like, he's sitting on the ground doing this with his arms. And I was like, oh shit. Like, and so I watched the replay and I was like, yeah, that's like the universal symbol for like, I'm actually hurt. Come out and help
Yeah.
me. Like when you throw the X up. My brother
Yeah.
didn't know that. So then
Oh.
when Phoenix went down, my brother immediately was like, oh, dude, it's definitely one of these. Like, because Phoenix couldn't lift one of his arms up, and he was, like, doing this across his chest because he couldn't lift his other arm. My brother was like, dude, this is one of those, like, he's actually hurt. And I was like, yeah like, that's... And they showed the replay, and you could hear the table break as his arm is going backwards. It was just such a gnarly...
I was like, was that the table or his arm?
Yeah. I mean, and... I don't know how he didn't break it.
I don't know how it just, man, he must have hit it in just the right spot to have it just dislocate, because,
yeah.
I mean, that still sucks, don't get me wrong, that sounds awful, but
it could have
yeah.
been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. And
yeah.
I guess the last thing I'll say before we sign off, because it kind of ties in, Matt Hardy heavily implied that Jeff was coming in soon last night.
Yeah,
so
that's gonna slap when that match happens.
Yeah, Lucha Bros and the Hardys, I think, is going to be like the first big
Maybe
Hardys.
Revolution? No, I don't know if he'll be ready by then.
I don't know. Oh, for Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when Phoenix is coming back. Yeah, but I think Jeff's probably ready to go right now.
Jeff's ready to go, yeah, but it's just about Phoenix.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's so many good matches there for Jeff. Like, we got to get Jeff versus Darby Allin one-on-one.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. That's
going to be awesome.
That's massive. They can run back Sting and Jeff also, because, like, the last thing everyone remembers about that is, you know, Jeff Hardy being too screwed up to be able to do the match.
Oh, yeah.
So,
he can make amends.
They can make it up to the fans like me who actually paid for that TNA pay-per-view back in the day and felt like I got my money ripped off. But yeah, that's probably a good thing to end the show on today.
Yeah.
Jessi, if you want to tell people where to find us, I'm not going to put the sponsors up on the screen, but I'll tell people about them after we kind of plug all the stuff we normally do.
Well, my Papa John's pizza code expired.
Boo!
I know, I'm trying to get them to give me a new one, but we'll see. Pizza Hut, if you want to reach out. Domino's, I'm down.
Hungry Howie,
whatever.
You can take it from anyone.
Yeah, like, I'm open to other
Totino's.
Or Domino's would be really funny because of the whole thing with AEW, but
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so that doesn't work anymore, sadly. You can tweet at Papa John's and tell them that you want me to have a code. That would be helpful. But you can find me on OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/JessiTheBuckeye. That's the best way to contact and support me directly right now. And the best way to support both of us on the YouTube channel right now is to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, tell your friends about it, comment on it when the video's over, be in the chat. We love our chat. We want more like-minded people in the chat because y'all are great. I know you guys are kind of talking smack right now about some football, and that's always fun. Just don't take it personal. Never take anything like that personal. It's football. It's fun, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's football. And it's fun, and it's my life, and I take it way too seriously, and I'm talking to myself at this point. But we do love the chat, and we want more people like y'all, so subscribing to the channel, giving this video a thumbs up, chatting, commenting, all of that really helps the algorithm to recommend our videos to like-minded people, so that does really help us out. And you can find both of us on Twitter. Our Twitter things are below. Follow us there. Stephen has his Fightful Select Weekender podcast. That's great to listen to. Like I said, you have Brody King. If you want to know more about Brody King, you should be listening to Stephen Jensen because he's going to tell you all about it on the Fightful Weekender podcast. So,
yes. Thank you.
Of course.
Speaking of Fightful, later tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, me and Joel Pearl, we're on there every Thursday on the Fightful Twitch channel. Tonight we'll either play Mario Kart again on the Switch. We play online, so like anyone who has a Switch can play with us. It's awesome.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Like people go in the chat and we put a code out there and y'all can jump in.
That's awesome. So, I have a Nintendo Switch, but I don't have Mario Kart.
You gotta get it. You can play with us.
That's awesome.
It's really fun. Hannah plays with us a lot. Jeremy
Oh,
goes in there
that's
and plays with
fun.
us. Yeah, we usually get a pretty decent turnout. Um, Tonight, I don't know if we're playing Mario Kart or not. It'll either be Mario Kart or me and Joel. We have a way of playing some of these old wrestling N64 games together on stream.
Oh, fun.
So sometimes we play No Mercy or something from the N64
Oh, best
days.
game.
So if y'all enjoy wrestling video games and or Mario Kart, then you should join us over there. Twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. And that's every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We do 7 to about 8:39 p.m. So usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So Trevor in the chat saying he wants, come in and play with us. Like, if we're not playing tonight, we'll probably be playing next Thursday. But, like, either way, come in there.
Stephen on Twitter.
Yeah, make sure y'all follow me on Twitter, because I always put the link up for what we're playing and when we're going live. And same with VSW saying love Mario Kart. Like, anyone who plays Mario Kart, that's the other thing too. If I know there's going to be a big turnout for people who want to play Mario Kart, that's what we'll do. We'll do that instead of wrestling. It just depends on who's in there and kind of what they want us to be playing and who's available and stuff. But regardless, once again, every Thursday, me and Joel Pearl are on there. So we're either playing Mario Kart or wrestling games, and that's every single Thursday. Twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming.
Yeah.
This weekend I've got Terminus.
You're gonna be there.
I'll be there live. We're looking forward to that. Next weekend is going to be a big one because there is UFC 270 on Saturday, which I'll be doing the Fightful Fight Night watch along for youtube.com/Fightful. And then the next night is GCW Hammerstein. And I'm doing the post show with that, and I've invited Righteous Reg from Grapsody to join me for that.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a really fun show.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to all that stuff. So there's a lot of good stuff coming up this weekend. If you want to check out the new Fightful magazine, I have an article in there that I wrote about.
Is it free for Fightful Select members?
Yes, if you have Fightful Select, then you can you go on the website to download the digital copy, and you put in your email address as the promo code. And as long as your email address matches what they have for Fightful Select, you should be able to get the digital edition for free.
That's awesome.
And then the print version is, I think, like $6 or $7. I'm gonna order a couple of those for like me and my dad and a couple of our friends and stuff. So, I wrote an article about Matt Cardona's independent run since leaving the WWE. So if y'all want to check that out, that's awesome. In the new Fightful magazine. And as Trevor said in the chat, GCW is not just on Fight this time; it's on regular like cable pay-per-view too. Like anyone can order it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
As far as our sponsors, definitely give them a shout out. WrestleRumble.com. We got the Royal Rumble Pick'em contest coming up soon. So jump over to WrestleRumble.com. Make sure to follow them on all social media at WrestleRumble. Save the day with their contests and their giveaways. I'm going to be giving away, me and Jessi right here on the show, we'll give away some Wrestle Rumble entries in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. Also, shout out to my brother, Brian Jensen. Follow him on Instagram at BoxingATL, BoxingATL. He can help you no matter if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area or anywhere else in the world. He can do Zoom calls, Skype sessions, or meet you in person if you're anywhere near Atlanta. He can help you with a wide range of things from self-defense and getting in better shape all the way to if you have neurological issue or anything. He can help you with such a wide range of things. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, how heavy or light you are. Like, he can put something together that specifically is going to help you reach the goal that you're looking to reach. So the best way to get in touch with him is, once again, go to Instagram, type in at BoxingATL, BoxingATL, give him a follow and shoot him a message if you want to send something up. And always, there you go. Thank you, Jessi. It's kind of blurry. Trying to focus.
I'm trying to hide my face.
Trying to get Brian's Instagram on the screen. Darn camera. It's picking you. Oh, there you go. There you go. So close. Well, it's BoxingATL, Boxing ATL, if it ever pops up. You can use code FIGHTTALK on independentwrestling.tv or IWTV.live. They got a ton of great shows on there. There's like 6,000 shows available. So, independentwrestling.tv, use code FIGHTTALK, all is one word, no spaces. Promo code SPOT helps us out. And who am I missing? Music City Toys and Collectibles. Make sure to follow them on all social media at Music City Toys. And make sure to check out their website, musiccitytoys.biz, their retail location, 101 West Main Street in Watertown, Tennessee. They're nice people. They give you fair business. Autographs, memorabilia, action figures, DVDs, anything you can think of. They're your hookup for your wrestling needs. Once again, shout out and thank you to our friends over at Music City Toys and Collectibles. So that'll do it for me. Jessi, anything from you before we sign off?
No, I hope everyone has a good weekend and enjoys their weekend and stuff. And if your team's in the playoffs, congrats.
Yeah, congrats. I know how that feels, not being in the playoffs and not having a head coach or general manager anymore. Yeah. The coach who should be our coach is the guy who should be coaching us is coaching y'all.
Yeah, I know.
Kevin Stefanski.
Thanks for him, though.
Yeah, you're welcome. He's a great coach. He should be your coach for the next decade. So
yeah, I know. He better be.
I'm interested to see what y'all do because I think you're all gonna move Mayfield.
Do you really? I hope not.
I think they're gonna try to trade for Cousins. I really do. That's just me personally, but
I don't want. I want. No.
See, I want Kirk still. Like that's a whole other conversation.
I just want big. I mean, it's a whole other conversation. But it's like Baker's established in Cleveland, and he's he's like our NXT guy. We want to get him ready for the main roster.
Right. Even though he's on the main roster,
he's on the main roster, but he's still in developmental. He's our little project. So yeah.
So as Jessi said, congratulations if your team's in the playoffs. Congratulations.
Congrats to the Bengals.
So yeah, that'll do it. We'll probably be here sometime next week. Yep. We'll put a link up on our Twitters whenever we're going live. So that's why it's important that you're following both of us on Twitter. I'm FightTalk_. She's Jessi the Buckeye. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. That way, you'll know when we're going live and all that good stuff. So we'll be back here sometime next week. For Jessi Davin, I'm Stephen Jensen.